Hey YouTube, it's Bella. Hope you're having a beautiful, blessed day. And I am here with the video about a topic that's been irking me for a really, really long time. And it touched me in my own life. I'm not here to point fingers or say who did at this point. But it did touch me in my own life. It changed my viewpoint of things. And basically, I took every rock that was thrown at me regarding this and built up a wall. And then I'm trying to build an empire. Not just build a wall, but build an empire. And basically, I'll just get into the story. When I went online, I saw the most adorable biracial baby ever. Adorable. Blue eyes, cute face, adorable. And I said, oh my God, if I can only be blessed with such a beautiful child someday. And what happened, the mother of this child said, look at this stale-ass baby's face. And people in the comments scared of stepping on the mother's toes. Oh, leave my baby alone, ha ha ha. She mean mugging, ha ha ha. Ah. I'm like, my opinion, we live in a society where I hear a lot of stories online. Thank God this particular thing has not touched my life, but I hope it never touches my life with either me or having my future children or my loved ones to go through this. But we live in a society, you hear a lot of stories where people say that their moms or their grandmas or the aunties or their cousins tell them, oh, you're so fat, you're chunky. And then they start wanting to lose weight, and that's where it starts, in the home. And then they start to lose weight through anorexia and through bulimia and things like that. And it becomes a lifelong condition. My opinion, we could be a generation that raises very strong women and very secure women that can conquer anything. That's my goal. That's what kind of daughter I want to raise. So, I mean, basically, when you see things like that, it starts in the home. It starts in not just telling your daughter that she's pretty, but tell your daughter that she's smart, that she's worth it, that her ideas matter, that she's allowed to feel. Things like that. Tell your daughter those things. Exercise those topics with your daughter every day. Her ideas matter. Her values matter. That is how you build strong women. Then it's on the person themselves to want to love them, or to try to love themselves, but it makes it a whole lot easier. I've seen people who were raised by women who were uplifting, and they were very fearless as children, and they were very fearless as adults. Like nothing can touch them. Almost what a logical person might think is careless at some points, but they're just fearless, and they were raised by powerful people. And people who uplifted them, and that's why the fearlessness was instilled, and they like themselves for the most part. I mean, sometimes I'm sure they question it. I mean, everyone does, but and then I see people who are not raised in that environment not struggle with self-esteem, struggle with bad relationships, struggle with different things, and it's just low-paying jobs, not feeling like you're worth it, and people, it's a very harsh world, honestly. So I tell you an example. I knew a family, and I knew this family for a long time. And this woman had a daughter that was a few years younger than me. And the daughter was a little overweight, and they would always call the girl Precious, because she looked like the girl Precious from the movie. And what happened, they would always make fun, they would just, but she was like, no, I didn't call her Precious from the movie, we called her that since she was a child. Who knows if that's the truth or not. So a lot of times, this girl, Precious, she wanted to be in modeling school. She liked music. She was like a typical stage kid. She wanted to do all these different things, but her family couldn't really afford it because they were like pretty much homeless. And I would always encourage her and tell her, oh, you should try to go to Barbizon, you should try to go here, you can try to go there, they have grants for this, they have grants for that. And she's like, oh, cool, cool. So we would talk about things like that. And then I remember someone that we knew was like, oh, Precious, you're so pretty. This is a great picture of you. And the mother snapped, and she's like, don't you know she's fat? If you tell her she's pretty, she'll never want to lose weight. She'll never want to do this. She'll never want to do that. It'll go to her head. She'll start thinking a higher sense of self. And I was just like, wow, let the girl live a little. She kept putting the daughter down, telling the daughter to just made the daughter feel this big. It was really, really sad, actually. It was almost like she had to be the child living her 5th childhood, and the daughter had to be the mother in a lot of instances. And that was really quite sad. I hope they're doing well. Even though I didn't quite get along with them, I really hope that for that girl's sake she's doing well. Now, she's probably a grown woman by now, and yeah. So, that was one story I know of, and I'll tell you another story. I mean, like, I'll just say this one story. So, I was always very, very skinny, and a lot of it had to do with health problems and things like that. Then I started to, you know, feel a little bit better at times, and I gained weight. I was up to 172 pounds at one point. And I loved every inch of it, every curve, every stretch mark. I loved every inch of being curvy. How I filled out a pair of jeans, how I filled out a blouse, I filled out a bathing suit, how my thighs would have that little extra piece of fat right here. Oh, it was amazing. I loved it. I kind of lost a lot of weight due to a lot of stress and just a harsh lifestyle the past few months. And, basically, you know, I remember some of my family was saying, oh, you're gaining so much weight, the love handles is too big, it's too much, it's too this. And I have an aunt, and the aunt was like, no, she looks good the way she is, she's getting healthy, let her gain weight, let her do that. And my aunt and I have had our differences, believe me, we definitely have. But she raised a fearless female, and she married a man who had a fearless mother, and she surrounded herself around other people who uplifted their daughters, and by her saying that, as much as we've had our differences, I really appreciated the encouragement, and I think definitely I'm going to take that into consideration when I have a daughter and things like that. So basically, pretty much, it starts from the home. By lowering your daughter's self-esteem, she'll have a lower self-worth, and then will accept, you know, basically settle for stuff, and it's not good. So just uplift your daughter, not just by looks, but who she is. Respect the fiber of her being. Tell her she could do anything. Tell her she's as good as your son. Tell her she's as good as your brother. Tell her she's as good as any man in your family, out of your family, in this world, that she can be anything she wants to be. Maybe the first female president, because we still haven't had one yet. Uplift your daughters. Give them strength. You know, give them strength. Let them learn from your own weaknesses. And don't live, I don't know how to pronounce the word. Don't live through them. Just make them live their own life, their own path. Because our kids come through us, but not from us. And the spiritual words mean that, you know, they're destined to be who they're destined to be. So, give them strength, and always don't just pick out attributes you don't like about them. Love them as a whole, because there can only be one them, and God never makes mistakes. Love them through illness. Love them through poverty. Love them through breakups. Love them when they're not felt to not be as good as a man, and when men put them down. When men are getting paid more at their jobs, and they feel like they're doing twice the effort and not being recognized. They're as good as them. They could even maybe do an even better job than them. They could do anything. Love them and embrace them. And embrace yourself. Love the parts of yourself that basically kiss your scars and say, I can rise above this. That's all I have to say about this matter. And remember, it starts from you.